Boom, boom, boom. There's the red light, boy. Something about that red light. I like to see that. That means we live. So hello everyone. I'm Paul Wizzo. And before we meet our guests, I have a couple of announcements to go and get out the way. So y'all just stay tuned for a second. This time, last time I messed them up, so I'm trying to read them this time and slow down a little bit. So I'm going to say thank you to all my subscribers and followers. I appreciate your support. If you'd like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, you'll find the link in the description or strolling right across the bottom of the screen. Just don't forget to hit the notification bell because I post according to my guest availability and rather than on a fixed schedule. And remember, it's absolutely free, 100% free to like, share, and subscribe. You might not want to watch it. You see your boy and some other people on the show. Just hit the share button. It don't cost you anything to do that. You can always come back. I'm always looking for guests to be on Wizzo Talk. So feel free to reach out to me. Send me a smoke signal, carry a pigeon, whatever you got to do, give me the message. And don't worry about the topic because I have plenty. That's for sure. You can also find Wizzo Talk on Spotify. So check it out. I'm not getting a lot of plays on there, but hey, you tune in to Spotify, you can find Wizzo Talk on Spotify. Also, I've included my merch link. I'll be creating some crazy shit, y'all. So y'all have to just check it on out. I've also put the in the chat, so you can just look in the chat and you'll be able to see the Wizzo Talk merch link. And those are your announcements. Take due notice thereof and govern yourselves accordingly. Let's meet our guests.
Hey guys, it's your girl KREE 21 Boom coming back at you. Thank you so much, Paul Wizzo, for having me on your show. I know we talked about having a up close and personal a long time ago, and guess what? We finally here.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. It has been a long time coming, but hey, a change is going to come. It's here.
Hey,
What's up?
I'm a
What's
little
up?
nervous too, friend. So just bear with me.
All right, what's up, Daniel? So, and you already know to check out the comments, case people post. In the chat, case people post chat. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. However, depending on where you're posting from, you may not be able to see, or your comments may not be able to come through. Now, with that being said, Miss Cree, I have some questions, about 15 to 20 questions to ask you. This is up close and personal. So, no one ever knows about Wizzo Talk. It's uncut, it's unedited, unrehearsed, unscripted, all that unshit. However, if I happen to ask you something that's a little bit too personal, just say, Wizzo, I ain't gonna be able to answer that one, partner. Say you my boy, but I ain't gonna be able to answer that one. Cause we are gonna be talking about a little sex up in here too. So I'm just saying.
Never
So
fails with you, guy. It never fails with you.
hey, us guys, we gonna always bring up some sex. So that's just how we roll.
Gosh.
With that being said, I'm gonna get off into my first question. And this podcast will last as long as your answer's long. Whatever you want to share. I'm not here to conversate with them. I'm just here to ask the questions and for the world to hear and get to know KREE up close and personal. Here we go. So I just want to know right off the rip, what's something that really irritates KREE? Just something that's just really get up under your skin. What is that?
Let's say I would say a person who is not upfront, honest, and they don't keep their word. They don't have integrity. They don't do what they say they're going to do. That really irritates me to my spirit.
Right. Okay. Anything, and that's something that once you probably check them on that, once you finally find out, like, hey, wait a minute now, you ain't keeping your word here, partner, or something. So.
Well, it has to be a pattern of behavior.
Okay.
So I'm currently like doing some things now, and it's like we're having like difficulties with communication, and he made a good point. He was like, we have to learn each other and
Yeah.
learn the likes and dislikes before we can just have stipulations. But like
Yeah.
I come right in any type of situation with, if you tell me you're gonna do something, I expect you to do it. And if you can't do it, I expect you to tell me you can't do it.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why you can't do it is not as important as you just letting me know
Right.
that you can't do something. So I
Yeah.
think that is very important.
Yeah, gotta communicate and let you know. You know that word is bond. You give your word on something, stick to your word unless something really comes on up. Okay,
And I try to be that person myself. So if I
right.
can't do something, I gave you a specific time. I'm absolutely going to try my best to let you know that, hey, I can't do whatever it is I can't do. So
That's what's up. That's what's up. Up close and personal with KREE 2-1. Boom up in here. So okay. So I got something for you right here. Like I said, I got so many questions, and they're not in any particular order. Whenever I interview someone one on one, I just write down some shit and go with it. I don't put it in order. So I'm gonna ask you this: at what point in a relationship do you think it's safe to have oral sex? At what point in time?
me personally, or like in general. So in general, as an adult, you can operate however you see fit. Me personally, whenever I feel comfortable in doing so, I'll do so. I can feel comfortable. You can make me feel comfortable the first day. You can make me feel comfortable 3 weeks from now. So whenever I feel comfortable, that's when I operate sexually with a person. Nobody.
Or we're talking oral, not sexual. We're talking oral
Well,
sex.
oral sex, whatever. Like
Okay.
it's all sex to me. So
Right.
it's all sex to me. I don't really separate it. Like it's
Okay.
all sex. I think it's immature to try to make it
Right.
different. It's all very
Okay.
sex.
It's all sex. Like
Absolutely.
Bill Clinton. He said he didn't have sexual relationship with that girl. She gave some head. That's sexual relationship, Bill. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's
Like
sexual relationship.
you should have
Okay.
seen everybody's face when he said that. And
Yeah.
you know he knows better. So yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't put stipulations on like time limits on like it needs to be 3 months, 4 months before we do this. It needs to be 5 months, 6 months. We need to be married. I don't do that. I go by off energy and the relationship and how it's moving, if it's progressing, if it's declining, and then I make judgment calls based on that. So
Okay. That's what's up. All right. Nothing but respect for that. So, do you believe in love?
absolutely. What kind of question
What?
is that?
Okay.
Yes, I believe in love. I believe we were all put here to love something and somebody and each other.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm like I say, this is just me answering some questions for the world to hear. I have a little bit of feedback on that, but I'm not gonna go and get it. But
No, you give me
right,
feedback. I need
hopefully,
this. Give me this
well,
conversation.
I'll say this then, since you asked, because I like I say, this is
Absolutely.
just you. I think the word love is overrated because people will be with you today. Oh, I love you, or whatever. You the best thing in my life. You this and that, and then y'all will break up, and then it'll be 6 months, 2 months, 3 months later, they posting about another love and all this other love. It's just thrown around so freely, and then sometimes you'll catch some guys, not all. I can only say some. That once they know that the woman is so attached to the word love and the feelings, because women is like kind of emotional and stuff. So they say, a guy say, I just love you. I just feel like I just say whatever he can to get the pussy. Few minutes later, a month later, or 2 days later, whatever, that love is gone. So that's just my thoughts on the word love. The word love is so overrated. I'd rather someone, show me. You don't ever have to tell me, but once I see your actions, then I know. You don't have ever fucking have to tell me. I mean, I don't even think I done told my kids, but they know by my actions. But that's just me.
Right.
So this is podcast. It's not about me. It's about
Right.
creating one
It's
boom.
okay. I have okay, so um like you said, I used to operate in believing what someone tells me, right? And I still operate that. I believe what you tell me until you show me otherwise.
Right.
So my theory on love, I absolutely believe that the use of the word is overrated. However, there are things and times when it comes to a certain person or individual that when they say what they feel in that moment, I believe they mean it, like in that moment. And
Right.
the thing with feelings is that they go up, they down. You can feel one way today, you can feel another way tomorrow.
Right.
So for me, Cree, I need a healthy balance of words and a healthy balance of actions. I've dealt with a guy that I got all the words and lack of actions. I've dealt with a guy where I got actions but he claimed he really didn't love me. He just being a friend. So I need a balance of both for me to truly believe what a person is saying to me when they say they love me. I need both.
Boom. All righty then. Well, I'm just saying. So now we get broken down love. We're gonna get on down onto it. So
And I'm gonna give both too.
you gonna get both?
Yes, I'm gonna give both. I'm gonna
Okay.
show you and tell you.
Right. Okay. That's what's
Love
up.
language is physical touch for me. So,
Right.
and I can't stop talking, so you're gonna get that automatic.
We know, y'all. I'm telling y'all, that's the damn truth right there. That shit. I'll be like, God damn, can I get a word in? Let me tell you, my fiance brought me a gavel. I'm taking the gavel on your ass so I can get a word in.
All
Shit.
right, Judge Wizzo.
So, okay, so just let me ask you this about parent wise. Were you raised by both parents, single parent? How's that?
So I was raised, I would like to think by like a village of people. So my
Okay,
mom was kind of like on the go a lot. So we were like with my auntie, we were with friends, we were with like my big sister at some point, helping raise us. Different men sometimes. Like it was a lot of people in and out of our life. So there was literally not a lot of stability.
right.
And if my mom's watching this, I know you did the best you could. All right. So don't you dare take this literally. But to answer the question correctly, I think it was a lot of people who helped raise me and
Okay.
shape me to be the individual that I am.
All right, that's what's up. And I posted a comment on the screen, so if you can see it. Also, I always ask my guests to, look at the chat because I'll post them. I can't post them all, but I do post some. You feel free to address whatever it is you like. So I'm gonna say this here also. I've met your mom, and I don't know why you don't want to let me interview your mom on my podcast. I think that she gonna set it off. My root. I mean, I'm gonna go shut the
I'm
internet.
not ready, friend. I'm not ready. My
Hey,
skin is thick, but not thick enough yet. I'm not ready.
uh, uh, uh,
Got a
uh.
pause on her.
All right, all right, all right. So you see the comment that was on the screen.
I absolutely see the comment on the screen.
I'm gonna go and take it on off, and I'm gonna move right on along. So I'm gonna ask you this: at what point in time in a relationship do you think it's safe to lose the condoms? Because I'm sure you started with the condoms because in Colleen Fort Hood area, the STD rate is through the roof. So I'm just asking you, at what point in time do you think it's safe to lose the condom? Now I know we grown and you can go with it however you want to, but I'm asking you because this is up close and personal.
So, should I ask James more, answer his questions first?
If
His
you want
question,
to,
have
yeah.
I ever experienced both love and action? Um, a short period of my life, I did. I experienced both for a short period. Um, Probably my last relationship, my last serious relationship, I absolutely experienced both. But that still didn't work out. So I don't know how to move forward. Okay. From that,
Okay.
I had both. And believe me, I was all in and I thought we'd be together forever. But like you said, Wizzo, people can love you today. 3 weeks from now, things change. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it didn't
And
change for me, changed for him, but it still changed nonetheless. So
already. All right, James. Appreciate that question right there. Keep them coming. Those of you that's watching right now, this is Paul Wizzo interviewing up close and personal with KREE 2-1. Boom up in this motherfucker.
okay, so past experience when I was a lot younger and when I was younger. Um, really didn't care so much for condoms. I really still don't care too much for condoms, but I didn't care for too much for condoms then because I didn't like how they felt, and I thought I was really irritated with the use of them. So I was more apt to be in relationships so that we could get away and throw away the condom.
Okay.
Fast forward, I'm still the same way as far as let's go to the doctor, check, make sure we both good so we can get rid of the condom because I don't really like condoms. And that's just the truth, the whole truth. So help me God.
All right. All right. Cool.
So,
Cool.
and I don't have a problem showing my doctor record either. So it is what it is. At this age, we should be open and honest about all those
Right.
things.
And if I repeat that question, let me know because that was one of my questions, but it was further down because like I say, this shit ain't in no type of order. Because I was gonna ask, about safe sex and when do you lose the condom so you can go and get the real thing because no one wants to be uh giving head with a condom on or vice versa or whatever, eating cat with a vagina patch or some shit or whatever they call it. I don't know what they call that shit. So what's up, McKnight? We appreciate you tapping in there, brother. He just posted a question up there too. So, but any time you want, you can answer any of the comments in the side. So I'm gonna go to my next question for you.
I'm gonna need PM to stop paying so much attention to my facial expression. Hey, you great, okay? I can't control this thing sometimes, but I can actually see them now that I'm watching me.
Yeah, already up close and personal with Cree 2-1 boom. Aside from your kids, what's one thing you're most proud of in life? Just one thing besides your kids.
Um, I am proud that I moved and started my own life, and I've accomplished so many things like buying my first house, graduating college, like doing things for myself. I'm proud of that. Like that's huge for me. Like the
Right.
accomplishments, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what's up. That's
Finishing what
good.
I started, like that used to be a thing back in the days. I couldn't finish what I started, but once I separated myself from my family and the hood of Chicago, I
Yeah.
was able to get a lot of things done that I wanted to do. So
Okay. Okay. I like visiting in Chicago. I've heard too much about it. I don't want to live there that much,
yeah,
but
it's another thing to live there.
yeah.
Absolutely, you don't want to do that, and
No.
it's gotten worse. So,
Right. Right.
but
Now,
shout out to Chicago.
yeah. Go give a shout out and thank all my viewers that's watching, whether you're watching it now or later. Remember, it's absolutely free, 100% free to like, share, and subscribe. No doubt. I appreciate it. So I'm gonna ask you this. I know that you have kids. I didn't ask you in the beginning how many, but I just want to ask you, how proud are you of your kids? Because I know a little bit of something. So just, how proud are you of your kids?
My sister say separate from your family. Yes, separate from my family because
I
it's
saw that.
difficult to get things accomplished when you are always there for your family. Like you know how we was raised and how we grew up, and we really needed each other a lot. So it was kind of hard to just focus on what you want to do as an individual when you're busy taking care of your family and helping other people in your family just basically survive. So like we live in survival mode for most of our life.
Yeah.
And that's just the truth. But I love you, Mom. I know you did the best you could. I swear I know it, okay? Because our parents are human. Like at some
Hmm.
point, my son was like, "Did you have to have me?" Like a lot of kids, this generation is like they're so overwhelmed with like real life stuff. But we grew up; it was like a struggle, but we survived. We're survivors. We're not victims. So it's like they think they had it hard. But when I think about my childhood, you always meet somebody who had it harder, basically.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's the end of that.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, what was that question?
How proud are you of your kids?
So I am very proud of both of my children. My oldest son was kind of like the one I struggle with the most, but he is currently married.
All
He
right.
currently moved, and now he's back, and he has a dog and a wife. It's like he's actually committed to somebody other than himself. Like I'm extremely proud that he's put away his player lifestyle. Like I couldn't be any more proud. All I need now is a grandbaby, and then I'll be as excited as you are when you see your grandbaby.
Well, I'll be excited. Well, I'll be excited. Yes, yes, no
So
doubt.
and then I know he's like in church. He got baptized. Like he's reading them. Like he's like committing his life to something. He has a purpose now. Because
Right.
when he was younger, he didn't give a crap about a lot of anything. So I think now that he has a purpose and he has committed himself to being a better person, that is very much to be proud for and to like
Right.
just raise the roof about. My youngest son, he moved out a couple years ago and he lives in Austin and he is doing well for himself. He's like a manager or something at Tesla. I
Oh,
couldn't be more proud of him as well. Like he does what he wants to do. He's getting out and traveling now because I was afraid of him being a homebody and gaining all that weight. But now he's working out in the gym, getting physically fit, looking good. So I got no complaints about either one of them at this point in my life, except I'm ready for a grandbaby. I just want to help raise my grandbaby. Like
yeah.
that's my next purpose for life outside of my podcast life.
Right. Okay. So Okay, so some women don't like to be called grandma. So you, with your grandkids, what are you going to be called?
Call me grandma. I want to hear it. I can't wait to be called grandma. I want it. Bring all the grandma. And
I
I'm gonna
know
turn
it.
around and I hope it's my baby talking to me.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want to be
because
called grandma.
us men,
Baby,
we don't
baby,
care. Us men, we grandpa, we don't care. Grandpa, papa, we don't care. So,
that's
but
me. I don't need to be Nana,
yeah,
whatever all these names. Call me good old fashioned grandma.
already that's what's up. I want to just kick it in reverse for 1 minute when you were saying how some. I think you said something to the fact how someone is raised differently and everyone's raised a little bit differently. And I just say this as just a personal thing. When my mom used to cook spaghetti. It wasn't no ragu and all prego and all that shit. She took a can of tomato sauce, tomato paste, and some black pepper. And boy, that was the best goddamn
Put it
spaghetti
together.
woo, I ever had in my life. Man, I'm telling you. So, then later on we grew up and then we got ragu and prego and HEB this and three cheese that and all that shit. But anyway, I just kind of want to touch on that just for a moment. So let me move on to my next up close and personal with KREE. What's one thing that's most important to you in a relationship? Just one. I know there's several, but just if you can just tell me just one. It don't have to be the most important, really, but just one thing that's important to you in a relationship. Besides saying honesty.
I'll say this. I'm just gonna say communication because you're not gonna work through anything without communication or a
Right.
lack. If you have a lack of it, it's like I don't operate in making assumptions. So
Mm-hmm.
that really bothers me. Like if you assume when you could have just asked me and you could have got clarity on something, like I think if you can talk through things and you can separate like y'all relationship versus whatever the problem or the issue is, and together y'all fix that issue or work through it, then
Right.
you'll be successful at your relationship. It's when you point fingers and you blame each other for that problem instead of working as one to solve that problem.
Right. And you know that some men are not, great communicators, and I'm sure once you with your partner, you will be able to see his expressions or know that something is wrong. Like, baby, what's up? Or even if it's something that's going on between you two, they always say don't go to bed mad at each other. I'm gonna tell you this. Back in the day, I went to bed mad at the motherfucker. I turned over my way. She turned over her way when I was married, and I
Happen.
get up the next day and just act like it was something totally different because I didn't want to entertain that. Because me, when I get to a certain level, I don't know what the fuck I might say. So, but some men, my thing is saying to you is that some men, we're not the great communicators, to our women, our partner.
So
So
I think it's important as a woman to allow that space for her man. So without throwing it back in his face, without like now that he's being open and honest, you picking out everything he says. Cause I was guilty of that as well. So we can learn as women not to throw it back in their face or
yes,
just respect the fact that they're even communicating and being open with us and
yeah,
just take it and let them know this is a safe place for you to do that
yeah,
without it getting thrown back or brought up every day or whatever the case may be. I think they'll be more inclined to
exactly. Yeah,
reciprocate.
yeah, I agree with that because one thing we don't want to hear is we don't want to hear, it throw back up to us after we didn't finally open up to you to get to this point, and then now we got to hear, regular, now you're gonna cause us to shut the fuck down and be like, you know what, fuck that, I shouldn't have even went there because he's thinking about it probably multiple times before he finally get to that point to go ahead and open up to you with that. So, all right, appreciate that. Y'all tap on in. We appreciate y'all. Appreciate the question. Appreciate everybody watching. We got this up close and personal with KREE 2-1 boom up in this thing. So that's what I'm saying. So I move right along. When you having a bad day. And we all have them. You having a fucked up day. Things ain't going right. Things didn't go right going to me coming right here to this podcast tonight. That's another story. It's not about me. So, but what I want to know from you is when KREE is having that bad day, who does she talk to? Who gets that call and why? Don't say mom.
Don't say who.
Your mom.
don't call my mom.
She said, I don't call my mama.
I don't. So when I'm having a bad day, I used to call my sister, but can't really call her anymore like I used to because she has a lot going on herself. Um, so I usually call my best friend Kiki, uh, and most of the time she's available to me. You know,
Okay,
she's gonna listen to me without judgment. She might say I done told you so a couple times, but
right.
I'm used to that.
So why does Kiki get that call?
Simply because I feel very comfortable sharing whatever it is. I've always shared whatever it is with her. Like I don't think I've ever hid or not told her whatever's going on in my life. She kind of knows like how I move, how I operate. She can finish my sentence.
Yeah.
She said we're like sister soulmates. So it's like we're just, and I'm her only friend, which is funny. She said I'm her only friend. So like it just makes me feel even that more important that she would call me a friend and not anyone else in the world. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
that's
That's
the
what's
type of
up.
relationship we have. And no matter how far she's away, she
Right.
always like is there for me, no matter what.
All right. That's what's up. That's definitely something that's needed, And also to have that friend to just listen, not act like they always have to fix everything. Sometimes I just need you to just listen and let me get this shit out and don't say nothing and let me get it out and then we're gonna have a drink and it may be a tear or two drop and then we're gonna move right the fuck on. So, I'm just saying.
You know what, Tish? I'm really not gonna play with you today, okay? And that's my sister, and she knows that she has a lot going on, and that I'm not gonna talk about because it's not about her. See what I mean? How she making it? See what I'm talking about? This is what I'm talking about right here. She has a lot going. She has a crap load of grandbabies, a husband, her health. Like she's dealing with a lot. So even when I call her, I try not to put too much on her. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not just you know she can't be there for me. It's that I know what you're going through. You've expressed it to me. So now I don't take my stuff over there to you because
Right.
I'm considerate.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that.
I still love you.
And I remember when y'all had y'all two on the podcast at the same time. I wish I'd had my damn gavel
You
then.
remember that?
I
You
needed
remember
the
that?
gavel for y'all guys.
She had me at the dollar store today spending money at the dollar store because they 50% off. I ain't had no intention on spending all that money.
Yeah.
Okay,
All
well,
right. That's
hey,
what's up.
yeah.
Okay, so let me set this scene up right here for you.
Hmm.
Let me set this scene. So I see you. I see you in the club. You looking at me. I'm looking at you. We close the club down talking about everything or whatever. And then I say to you, let's go to my place. What's your next move?
No, I'm good. I just met you. I'm not going to your place. You could be some kind of stalker or killer.
We didn't talk all night.
It
We
doesn't
didn't shut
matter.
the club down.
It doesn't matter. I've experienced this. Not come back to my place, but like want to go eat breakfast or hey, when the club first of all, I ain't got no business closing the club down. Okay. But I did do that before. I have done that. And I
Right.
have interacted with one male before the whole night, danced with him, all that good stuff. But I'm not going to nobody's house after the club. Never had a one night stand, don't intend on having it. Have I ever thought about it? Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Never done that.
Okay. All right. That's what's up. Respect that. Up close in person with KREE 2-1 boom. You never know where we're going, boy. I'm getting
And
ready to get.
low-key, I'm really scary. Like I'm really scared of people, especially men.
Oh
Like
yeah.
a lot of people don't know that about me, but I'm actually afraid of men. Like I just don't.
You're not afraid of women. They can kill you just as fast as a
No,
man can.
I'm not. I'm not afraid of women. I feel like I could take them. I feel like I could take any woman. It's the men I'm afraid of because most of my fighting growing up has been with men, male of the male species,
Okay.
not
Well,
women.
there's some women out there kicking ass and taking names, but if you say
Talk
so,
to me like that.
right.
Like
Okay. Well,
you know.
don't
And I know
underestimate.
that I'm sorry cutting y'all, but like I know
No,
that sometimes men with that testosterone and that ego, like growing up as a young lady, and I've always been a little thick, so like I've got a lot of unwanted attention from men, and when I don't go, they automatically get nasty and mean, and it's
right.
like you don't know what somebody might do. So I'm definitely not going to put myself in their house or anything like that without really
Yeah.
knowing a lot about them. Or sometimes I would tell my sister, hey, if I'm going to hang out with somebody, this where I'm going. I would send her the address so she at least know where I'm at. Like, it's
Right.
crazy. So
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't really
that's good.
trust men like that. I would be more inclined to trust a female than a male.
Okay, that's good. That's what's up. That's good. I respect on that, you know. And I'm gonna say to my viewers that's watching right now, we see y'all in the comments over there. We appreciate y'all. I know I'm gonna say Legina name wrong. I probably said that wrong because I think she's been on before, and I know I messed that
We
up. But
call
I'm
her Miss Solomon.
calling Solomon.
You can't get the first name, you can always go with the
You,
last.
you you always can get the last name, so I appreciate you tapping in. Yeah, she's been on before. I enjoyed her when she was
When
on.
was she on your podcast? Because she was supposed to be on my podcast. Let me
She,
find out.
well, see, there you go. Now I didn't told her too much. She's been on a while back. I really enjoyed her being on too. I
I missed
appreciated
that
her.
one. I'm about to go back and check that
Yeah.
out. Because she was.
Because you know, just like I know from having your podcast that we are, uh, you know, we get stood up a lot. People don't show up. You know, that's why you see on Wizzo Talk, I usually have a multiple guests, 4 or 5, because I always gonna have one or two that's not gonna show up. So when we sitting here and we're waiting and we hear the little ding that let us know somebody's backstage, that's just like a happy feeling right there
Now, let
because
me ask you this, friend,
uh,
because didn't you get her info from me?
mhm.
So she was on your podcast before she was on mine? Ooh.
A long time ago. Let's move on to the next question. Let's get off of that. Let's get off of that. Let's get
Okay,
off.
I see. Okay.
I've gotten quite a few people from you, so and I appreciate you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me ask you this: when it comes to oh shit, my question didn't move from you. When it comes to friendship, you know, do you tend to get along better with men than women? I've heard some women say they get along better with men because women be so messy. So I'm just trying to see, do you, or is it both to you? Do you tend to get along better with men or women, or it doesn't matter?
Um, so I'm not a stickler for like being friends with men. So I'll just say that first of all. I'm not. I try to cling towards women, obviously, because I'm a woman and I feel more comfortable speaking to women versus men. However, I have been in certain situations where women hate on me for whatever reason. They can never tell me anything I did to them, or they got something conjured up in their head. But for the most part, I get along with everybody, to my knowledge. Like I really don't. I'm a very outgoing, friendly person. I'll talk to anybody. I never really met a stranger because I'm just that friendly. So I would like to be inclined to say both sex, but I'm not big on being males friends with males like that. So like the way we like cool and stuff like that, I love that. Like I would love to have that dynamic with more men, but it's not necessary for me.
Right.
I'd rather be friends with females. I
Okay.
just prefer that. Yeah.
All right, cool. That's what's up. Well, nothing wrong with that. Now, I know we friends, we cool and shit, man. So you know, I'm just saying, you know, I don't think I got my walking papers yet. You know, I hope not.
No, no, no. I'm a friendly person overall, like both
Yeah, you
sex.
are. Yeah,
But
yeah.
again, like even with females though, you don't know their ulterior motives, but more so with men, like I find that men will pretend to be your friend and then until a door opens or a crack and then now they wanna something else.
It ain't no door
That's
openers.
not all men, but some men are like that.
It don't say to the door openers till your legs open. So don't fuck the damn
The
door.
door opening to my legs, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, once
You
your
know what
legs.
I'm saying though, shit.
Yeah. That's what's up. Okay, I respect that. You know, because I've heard
Miss
women say,
Solomon, it's all love. It's all love. I'm just talking shiggity with you, but that do mean you need to be on my podcast soon. That's all.
yeah, I think she was on when we talked about teachers or something or something. I can't remember, but it's
Oh,
been a little while back that she's been on. I appreciated her for that and appreciate you turning on to her
it's all
because
love. It's
at
all love.
one point in time it was so hard for me to get women on the podcast.
Yeah.
But thanks to you and then a certain group of women that I have, they never tell me no. If they off work and it's around their schedule, they're gonna come on. So I mean I appreciate them for that and appreciate you coming on answering the unknown because you have no idea what the hell I'm gonna ask? Cause
I
you know
really
me.
don't. I definitely asked him, like, can you give me like a little bit of what's going on? He's like, mm.
No, no. I never give out what I'm gonna talk about. So let me ask you this: and this is kind of in related to your podcast, and I have it down in the notes. So I may have to, if I ask it again, then I'll apologize for that. But you talked about healthy relationships before, so I just want to ask you, what does a healthy relationship look like to you? To KREE 2-1 boom, what does a healthy relationship look like?
Ranger, come.
It looks like Ranger.
No, no, I don't want to start barking. Come, 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 come. Okay. So, my podcast is actually centered around what it looks like or what it takes to build healthy relationships. Whether
Right.
that relationship is with you and your child, you and a sibling, you and a coworker, you and your mate. So, uh, it's not just a romantic relationship thing. It's just trying to help build a relationship. Period. And I think there are just like general basis for any type of relationship that you want to consider healthy. And obviously, it starts with communication, honest communication first with yourself and then others, because a lot of people don't even know the demise they play in their own jacked up relationships with people. You know what I mean? And
Right.
I struggle sometimes too. Like when I was in a relationship, sometimes I would just like shut down. Like that's unhealthy, right? So you live and you learn. So for a healthy relationship looks like this: communication, open communication, right? Um, being able to talk to somebody about whatever it is you're feeling and whatever is on your mind and not tiptoeing around it, acting like you walking on eggshells, or just like not being able to speak what it is you really feeling, right? Being able to express yourself
Yeah.
wholeheartedly, right? And being able to receive whatever your partner wants to say, because it's probably not going to be what you want to hear. Like being able to receive it and accept it without judgment, you know what I mean? Just being able to receive it and accept it. Also, another important component is not giving up. Like with any successful relationship, you do not give up on that person, especially if you claim to love that person. Like, so I can be mad at somebody in my family or a friend or something, but I'll never give up. They can still call me if they need me. I'm not
Yeah.
going to air out their dirty laundry like you was. Oh, I was talking to somebody, but
Yeah.
they were saying that if me and you start being friends, I'm still going to hold your secrets. I'm still going to
Yeah.
respect you. I'm still going to speak. You ain't even got to speak to me. I'm still going to speak to you because this is who I am. So
Right.
if you have a relationship with somebody, and I'm not just talking about romantic, I'm just mean in general, a
Right.
healthy relationship with somebody, y'all should be able to sit down, talk, and work it out. Period.
And
And
I'll say this on the dirty laundry part, and I've experienced this not myself, but other people talking about it. Soon as that couple break up, then he is calling her that bitch wasn't shit. That bitch wasn't this. She's saying that motherfucking dick was small. He wasn't this, but she wasn't saying that when she was hitting the headboard. Then they start doing that to one another. And that right there is definitely not a part of my thing. But I've heard that before. Where they was cool when they was together. As soon as they break up, then it's all kind of back and forth shit. Maybe he was cheating, or maybe she was cheating, whoever. But it's yeah, I've heard it and it's out there. So, but that's cool. So at least we know now. We know what a healthy relationship
yeah,
is.
and even if things don't work out, like healthy means I love you enough to let you go. Find whatever it is you're looking for.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like it doesn't mean you have to be together for it to be healthy. So healthy is I'm letting you know this is probably not a good idea for you to do it, but if you choose to do it, that's on you and you walk away from it. Like you don't argue, fight, or try to control nobody. Like love is not control. Love actually for me is freedom. So you let a person do what they rather do so you can see what they rather do.
right.
You know who you're dealing with.
Boom, just like that. All right, then. That's what's up. All right, appreciate that. Respect that right there. So let me move right on along to another one right here. What does a fun night look like for KREE? And don't tell me no damn Taco Tuesday. I don't want to hear about that shit.
That was the last time I had a fun night, though.
I hear about
Tell
Taco
you a few
Tuesday.
things it incorporated, okay? Lots of dancing. A fun night for me is so if I think about like times I've had like a really good time, it always included singing and dancing.
Yeah,
Like I love karaoke. I love to watch people sing karaoke and the joy on their face when they feel like they killing it out there because they didn't make it on Star Search. No, I took it way back. But they be out there performing. My mama loved to perform. So
yeah,
like Just getting out there dancing, just being free,
yeah,
like just being able to be you, living in the moment. Like
yeah,
that's what a fun time to me is.
yeah,
Anything in the water. I love a good beach, swimming. Anything in the water is amazing. I love nature. So like trail walks. I
yeah,
can't wait to go on my first trail ride now that I'm a dancing, got my
yeah,
dance.
yeah, yeah.
Like anything like outside, nature, water,
Right.
dancing, singing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it. I also enjoy like kickbacks, like when we playing cards
yeah.
and the music playing. We might have some drinks, food, and being in good company and having good conversation.
Right. That's what's up. That's cool. That's what's up. And I'm gonna say, I've seen your LL Cool J.
My performance.
Yeah, that shit. I said, oh shit, look at Creek doing the LL Cool J.
Oh, I love it. Yes,
So,
I love it.
yeah, it looked like he was having a really good time, and you know that's what it's about. And then when you
I was
talk,
glamping. I was glamping. You ever been glamping?
uh,
So it's camping, but we had tents, but we had like air
I
mattress.
saw that.
Like
Yeah,
we were glamping, so like it was fancy. We had bathrooms so we could shower. Otherwise,
yeah,
I wouldn't be out in the woods.
right.
No
Yeah,
shower, no porta potty. but
exactly.
it was really nice. It was a great experience. I would do it again.
Right, that's what's up. Hey, you have to hook up with Chandra. She was on the podcast the other day. Chandra goes hiking, and her and about 3 or 4 other women. They always inviting other ladies to go hiking.
I
They
would
take
love
their
to hike.
backpacks and they go. You have to. I have to link you up with her because they go hiking different places. And I was excited to see her doing that, and them women because men usually say we ain't going. I got to take my motherfucking pistol with me, and I got to take. They go out there with a backpack, she said, and sanitary deals or whatever case they got to piss, you know, clean up and wipe up and everything and shit, you know. But
Why they wiping up? They out there all night. I don't want to be nowhere out all
no,
night.
no, not all night. But if you out there
Oh,
on a hiking trail, you might have to squat, you know. And what you gonna do? Just you can't let it drip dry.
oh,
So you know. But I'm just saying. So I'm just saying what she have in her backpack and stuff. But I have to hook you up with her because she says she's always inviting people other to go hiking. Ladies, Seven said that he's gonna go with them one time. So you know. But
in
that's
Simple, where are they hiking at? Do you know?
no. They have certain trails where they go hiking at. So
Okay.
I'm not sure where. So
I know
but.
Dante's Peak is like one of those places where.
Yeah, they probably do, but I have to hook you up since you say you know you off into that. So, but
Well,
anyway,
I've been having issue with my knees, so
yeah,
that might not be the best idea to do right now. But definitely when they're 100%, if they'll ever get back to 100%. But
I'm
I
gonna
won't stop dancing. I know that.
I'm gonna leave that alone about your knees. I'm not gonna go there because
All right, don't go there. Don't do it.
don't
Don't
go
do
there.
it.
I'm gonna leave that alone. So moving right along to my next deal. You know, so I'm assuming that you like to travel. So, but I'm gonna just ask you, you know, what's the one place that you would like to travel to and why? You know, anywhere in the world, if Cree can go to that place, why would you like to go there and why?
I would like to go to the motherland. I'd like to go to Africa,
Yeah,
just to experience it.
right.
I think every black person should. Like they say, this is where our ancestors came from. I believe it. So I like to go see it. Or Egypt. I like to go see the pyramids.
Right.
So Africa,
Okay.
because yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah, I know of a couple of people in Killeen. They church went to Africa somewhere, and this other guy that I follow, he was in Nigeria. He was in a couple of places in Africa. So I think you just have to watch to see where you need to go at over there, whatever. But it's definitely on our bucket list to try to see about going to Africa. And we already have our passport, my fiance and I, but we just had never got it because we always scheduling all kind of other trips. But definitely, it's Africa is definitely on the list. So that's what's up. All right. So moving right along right here, then we're up close and we're personal with Creed 2-1 boom up in here. So
Hey,
y'all
how many questions did I answer so far? Do you know?
you answered about 12, 13, something like that, you know, and then
I didn't
I
have to
put
say
some
I
more
don't.
in there. So, you
I
know.
didn't have to not answer no questions so far, so I'm doing good.
No, 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 no. You good. You've been on point with everything, you know, and I hadn't got to the good shit yet, but I put
Oh,
a couple in there, but I got some
oh,
shit
okay.
in there. But anyway.
Oh snap!
So I've heard you mention that you don't like titles before. So I just want to see, you know, in the relationship. So I just want to see if you can just tell us about why you don't like those titles. You know, what is it about the titles that get you?
Okay, so it's not that I don't like the titles, but
Mm-hmm.
I prefer not to have a title because it
Okay.
just takes the expectation off said title.
Okay.
Um, However, I'm coming around. I'm coming around to realizing that, it's not such a bad thing.
Okay.
I just don't subscribe to labeling people. Like, you know how they got all these names and it's all like just man-made, like everything else. Like tomorrow to be a new name. Like I just don't like to subscribe to things. I think we were all uniquely made. You know what I mean? And I think everything is about your mindset. I think you can have your mindset on I want to be in a monogamous relationship. You can have your mindset on I want to try a poly situation. You can have your mindset on I like to remain single for the remainder of my life. You know what I mean? You
Right.
can have your mindset on I'm just gonna do me, whatever the hell that is at any given day. So that's without the labels and the titles. You
Right.
just operate it however you want to operate every single day. And you're entitled to do that because it's your life. You're the author of your book. But when people see you moving a certain way, they automatically, oh, you're bisexual, or you poly, or you a hoe. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, or you a lot. Like, I just don't like it. Like,
Okay.
this is the
Okay.
world we live in, but I don't have to like it.
Boom. Just like that. You ain't got to like it. So, what are your thoughts on marriage? Oh, she had to take a deep.
So I do know that marriage is not for everybody,
Right.
right? I think, obviously, your norms and the way you was raised and your belief system, um, will dictate how you move as far as marriage is concerned. I believe a marriage can be a beautiful thing with the right person, but you first have to have that good relationship established before you go to the courthouse and get the government in your business. I don't think it's necessary though. I think like back in the days, black people wasn't going before no judge to get married. You jumped the motherfucking broom, boom, we married, and everybody know that's her man. Don't mess with him. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, so I don't think it's a necessary component for you to have a healthy relationship. I absolutely believe you can have a healthy relationship without it. A life partner can work as well. I don't think you need to have the paper. I think the paper and the ring kind of stipulates like I belong to you government wise, like a control factor. And a
Right.
lot of women are seeking that because we were raised to believe that's the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of miserable women married because they were raised to believe that's the ultimate goal.
And
Connected to a man.
right. And I talk a lot about breaking the cycle. And I think that's one of the cycles because back in the day, that was the thing, for, women to get married, get you a good man, blah, blah, blah. And I talked with my son, my youngest son, one time, and he was up in, I think at this time he was in Chicago, met a couple of young ladies or something. I can't remember exactly. But they something came up about marriage, and she's like, they wasn't from here, and he's like, you Americans, all y'all want to do is get married. Why not? Just live your life and just be free. Why do you always have to get married? And I think it's so many people that's been set on marriage. I don't follow them, but it's someone on the radio show. I can't remember what radio show, and I don't want to call him out because I don't want to give him no damn credit right here neither. But him and this lady has been together for over 10, 15 years. They have several kids, and neither one of them wants to get married, and they're doing fine right now like that. So, that's just something that I just put out there. So, like I said, it's not for everybody, but that
Yeah, because
was,
marriage doesn't change people. So
no,
if he's a shithead before you marry him, he's gonna be a shithead and now you married to him.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it doesn't change people.
No, it definitely doesn't change them.
Yeah.
So,
It just labels you.
right, already. Now,
However, I do like the idea of like maybe when I was younger, like when I got married and then we all had the same last name, like I guess that's a good look. But again, if you're not happy within said marriage and you're not trying to work on it and both of y'all don't want it, it's not gonna work anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
right, right. That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, don't thank everybody for watching and tuning out and drop my damn pen, but I ain't making too many.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, hold up a second. Thank everybody for watching and tapping on in. If you have any questions for this up close and personal with KREE 21 Boom, please post them in the chat so we can get her to answer those questions because I only have a few more and we're going to be through with this thing. So make sure if I'm missing something that y'all haven't heard or would like to know, make sure you tap it on in so we can get it going here. So let me ask you this. I'm almost getting to the good stuff too. So
Almost.
what describe, a ideal like of a perfect date? What would you consider like a perfect date for KREE?
Perfect.
I mean, yeah, yeah,
Okay, so I mean, I guess I have an idea. A perfect date would look like something he completely created on his own, right? So, say he set the scene. I didn't know it was happening. He set the scene. There was candles, wine, or whatever we drinking, food that he cooked,
okay,
like well thought out, and you know that he prepared it just for
right,
you,
right,
right? That would be an ideal date for me. That you could say perfect, but that would be a perfect date for me. And just an intimate setting, a very romantic setting. I'm not sure if men still do stuff like this, but
oh,
a romantic setting, just the two of us. And of course, we need to have some very intimate conversation, and then
yeah, yeah.
that good love making on the end, and put
Oh
the
shit.
cherry on top.
Oh shit. I ain't gonna ask where you gonna put the cherry in. I ain't gonna ask that question. I'm gonna leave that alone. But I'm gonna say this. Men do still do that. And there's a lot of us out there. I've done it a lot for my fiance. I've surprised her with a whole lot of stuff, but this is not about me. But this
Well,
is
I can say I've experienced it once in like the last 5 years. So
right, right. Okay. Well, that's what's up. So we know your ideal because it's all he didn't make it all about you. He didn't thought it out. He didn't prepared it.
right,
Even if he can't,
planned it and
yes,
everything. The one time it happened for me, I was actually late, so I almost messed it up. But I didn't know. I didn't know.
you can't be late. If he, I'm sure he probably said, "Baby, be here at X amount at
Well,
this
guess what I
time."
was doing? Hanging out with my mom and my family. Like we was over there singing karaoke and turned up.
That would kill the mood right there real quick. I mean, he would go from a straight up rod to a limp noodle real
I
quick.
mean, the
So,
bath water was made, the bubbles, the candles. It was
yeah,
fresh flowers. It was so romantic.
yeah.
Almost messed it all up. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
hey,
You got to do better and got to be on time, especially when if the guy's giving you those signals where he asks you to be here at this time and that time, he's planning something. So James has this question. You see that question on
before
the
I answer James, like I absolutely believe what you said because I had been around a couple of guy friends or associates that I hang out with on Taco Tuesday, and a lot of them say they do not like when the woman is late, like or inconsiderate
screen?
of the time that they agreed on. So now I'm definitely like I'm early. That's gonna mean I'm on time. I'm early.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you this before you answer James' question.
Uh huh.
Anyone that knows me, they know that I am very particular about time. Every second of my time is valuable. If you're not on time, I will leave your ass. I've done it. And when I would swing this,
Date though, you would leave your date.
she be rushing. She get out to the car because I'll be. She don't want that problem like that. It will fuck up the whole night. I don't like to be that guy that's late. My kids appreciate that now because when I used to pick them up from the airport, I'm there early because they
Mhm.
didn't just flew in from somewhere. They don't want to fucking wait. They want to walk out to the car and they
Right.
want to
Being
go.
considerate of
When
somebody
you,
else's
as
time.
a people of color, when we go to our kids' event, we
Mhm.
late. Then you get there, there's no fucking where to sit. I am particular about time. I've canceled a podcast because the person logged in late. I'm like, fuck that. No, it's over. But anyway, that's how I am about time. But did you answer James' question? Is marriage for you, KREE?
So is marriage for Cree? I'll say this. I'll say that I have no idea what God has in store for me. I'll say that I've been married twice, and I still have yet to experience what a real marriage looks like, a healthy one. Would I like to experience that one day? Absolutely. I mean that's a given. I want a life partner, and if my life partner wants to be married, I'm okay with it. If they don't want to be married, I'm okay with that too. Like I don't want to be the one to be pressuring nobody to do anything they don't want to do. So if it's a mutual agreement, then why not? If it's not, then absolutely not. So I just want a healthy relationship. Not sure why that's so hard. Like
Yeah,
I want one where I want to keep working on it and I don't give up on it,
yeah,
and they don't give me reasons to give up on it. Like I want it to be a mutual. agreement, because I think it's so hard, like the whole love thing, right?
Yeah.
It's so hard to navigate what love looks like because it can change if it's based off feelings, which is why I say it should be based off a choice. You choosing to love this person every day. You're choosing not to give up on this person no matter what kind of drama and obstacles that come your way, because you know they're going to come your way. Like
Right.
you
Yeah.
know it's going to come your
Yeah.
way. So you can choose to say it's going to be us against whatever that issue is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think it's that difficult, but for some people it is.
Right. And that's why some marriages, that's just my opinion, don't last as long as they used to. It's hard to find those 30-year marriages nowadays. Things didn't change so much, because I don't know if it's because people not really putting the work in and just saying, fuck it, I ain't gonna deal with it. I'm not gonna deal with it. Just gone. I love you enough to let you go.
I
But
think
go ahead.
I think people are operating off feelings. And
Yeah.
if you're operating off feelings, they're going to go be up sometimes, they're going to be down sometimes. You're not going to feel like it's like work. You're not going to feel like it, but you still get up and go because you know the benefits of it. It's just like in a relationship. If you know the benefits is we're going to stay. If you got a solid person by your side, like, and they're not lying, cheating, abusing you, misusing you, like, y'all hear me out there? Stick it out. Make it work with them.
That shit
Okay?
happens.
Because it ain't nothing but trash out here. I'm telling you. I'm out here. I don't want to be out here, but I'm out here. Okay? So if you got a solid person in your life that you can depend on, you can trust, and they love you, like, stick it out with them. Okay? Because it's hard. Like, I just, it's hard, friend. It's
Say
hard.
like what is it? It's hard out here for a pimp trying to get
Right here
the
for the
money.
average Joe,
Yeah.
okay, to find
Yeah.
somebody that they can trust
Yeah.
and rely on, like, and literally that person be there for them. Like it's hard. So like I have a couple friends now, like dating and stuff like that, and it's a bunch of mess. Like people just not being true to who they are. Like there's a lot of people who haven't even accepted who they are in the mirror, and they're out here trying to date and putting on a facade and they representative, and then 3 days later they ghosting you. Like I had a guy ghost me. Man, we made plans to like go to a football game. He bought me a jersey, like showing me all this. We going. A week before the football game, like I texted him, I'm like, it wasn't going through. It said blocking was activated. And I was like, why he blocked me? What I do? Like,
Yeah.
I can't even make sense of it. Why he blocked me? And I saw him out at a club one time, and I just looked at him and I walked right by. I said, I don't even want to talk to you, Casper.
Yeah.
But you
Damn.
don't know what somebody's dealing with. And a
Yeah.
lot of time it's an internal thing that they dealing with. Like seriously, because I didn't do anything to him. Like we didn't argue before. Like it was
Right.
excitement about going and all that, but
Right.
he ghosted me, and hey, that was the end of it. And I felt some type of way. However, I'm glad he did it sooner than later. Because people can
Yeah.
drag things on and then up and leave you and do something crazy, and you'd be like, what the hell happened?
Right.
So
Exactly. Exactly. So I'm gonna say this right here to all of my viewers that's watching right now. Make sure y'all go bring them comments in for KREE. She ready for it. She's on fire. I got probably about like 5 more to go, and this podcast is gonna be over with. So I know y'all got something. This is up close and personal. So if you got something to ask Miss KREE, 2-1 boom. Hey, put it in the chat. I'm gonna put it on the screen, and she already ready to answer whatever it is you want to bring forward. So let me ask you this, because you just mentioned football. So I just want to ask you, because some women are not really involved in sports and everything like this. So how are you? I mean, how are you? What do you feel about sports? Do you have a favorite basketball team, football team? Are you gonna watch it with the guy, March Madness and shit? How do KREE feel about sports?
I love sports. I absolutely love sports. I grew up playing sports. I was on a track team. We have family reunions July 4th, and we used to play like football, and I mean tackle football, like at our family reunions. I love it. I love sports. I love watching sports. Bears is my team, obviously, because I'm from Chicago. Alabama is my team because my family is originally from Alabama, and I love Alabama. So those are my teams right there. I've watched tennis with somebody before. Not really fond of it, but
Yeah.
since I like sports, I can watch about any
Yeah.
sport. Not a
So if
problem.
your man watching sports, you dating someone they watching sports shit, you right there on the couch with him. Even if you cheering for the opposite team, you right there. Let's get it. Let's
No,
go.
I'm usually cheering for whoever he's cheering for, unless they're playing my team.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm usually on whatever he wants to. I ask, I say, who you want to win, and that's who I'm cheering for. because I want him to be happy. So I'm cheering for him unless he playing my team, and then now it's on.
Okay, okay. So he can't if he going against the Bears, you ain't with that. So okay, that's what's up. So let me ask you this.
Wait, who is this saying? Why you cover the watermelon?
That's one of my friends that I work with in Iraq, Hazim. He talking about my head big as a watermelon. That's why he said that. That's why he didn't even pay no attention to his
I was
comment.
so lost. Like what?
That's an inside joke. Yeah,
Okay, that's your friend. Okay.
yeah. So let me ask you this here then, and then we'll entertain the comment right there. Have you ever, and I don't know if you have, so I'm just saying ever, have you ever considered dating outside of your race?
So I have considered dating outside of my race, but my black men are the only ones I'm really like physically attracted to. I've dated Mexican before because he was like super fine, but still didn't find that relatable feeling that the brothers have. So
Right.
y'all stuck with me.
Okay. So the brothers are stuck with you. So y'all, I'm getting down to this single stuff here a little bit, so I don't want you to answer that yet. So don't get to that yet. What's up, Wyatt? We appreciate you tapping
What
on.
did
But
Mr. Morris say? Oh, he didn't know. Like I played tackle football. Yep,
yeah,
every year when we used to have family reunion, I would go and we would do teams. We would play softball, tackle football. Like we were very active growing up. So yeah,
yeah. Okay, all right. When guys play tackle football with the women, they gonna get their feel on. You know that, right?
it
Yeah.
was, it was family. So
Oh, it was family. Oh, and never mind. Then they ain't gonna be doing
sorry,
that.
my sister. The women and women, the men and men. Like yeah,
Okay.
but my cousins would tackle us pretty damn hard. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, but it
If
was
you run with that damn ball, you gonna pay the price
yeah,
for it. Shit, you don't let
absolutely.
it aside. So that's
They did
what's
not
up.
hold
Okay.
back.
Right. All right, y'all check it out. We talk about up close and personal with KREE 21 Boom. So if you guys are ladies out there, anyone that's watching, y'all have any comments, hey, put them in the chat so we can put them on the screen and see what she gonna answer here. So let me ask you this. We talked about women looking for men with six figures. They want to date men with six figures and all that stuff. So, you know, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, he may make $6, but what are your thoughts on women seeking men dating six figures?
I think to each his own.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I really don't. It doesn't really bother me one bit. I think that I care more about how a person treat me versus how much they make.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think they should be able to provide for themselves and somebody else if they're trying to create a family. Like you need more than just to be able to provide for yourself if you're trying to have a family. I believe in partnership, so wherever you lack, I could pick up and vice versa. I think in the beginning though, you should be at least somewhat equally yoked, like the Bible say. Like,
Right.
don't be homeless and don't have a job, and you want to date somebody who has a job. Like, I think those women who require six figures, they should have six figures themselves. I think when you have those type of stipulations on who you would date, at the very least, come with that. Like,
Right.
so that would take a little bit of that argument out. Like, you want me to have all this, but what you got? You know what I mean? So,
Okay. Gotcha. All right. One of my guests told me your guest is pretty. Yeah, look at it. He told me he
thank
always is.
you.
All right. So let me ask you this right here. Okay. Let me get a sip of wine. I had water.
Get it, friend.
That's water. That's water. So you've had, and this is kind of based on the communication is where I'm going with this here question right here. So
Mm-hmm.
you had multiple sexual encounters with your partner, not with multiple people, with your partner that wasn't satisfying to you. At what point do you let him know that there's an issue? What point do you communicate? How is that communicated to him that, baby, or whatever, multiple encounters? Because the first one, we already know, sometimes the guy gonna blow the gasket before
Right.
the woman. We know that. It takes a while for the woman to go on and build on up. And at one point in your life as a man, you get there to where you start taking your time with that woman to go ahead on and make sure she get there. But to answer to the question, if you have multiple sexual encounters with your partner that wasn't satisfying, at what point do you let him know that there's an issue, and how does that come about?
Okay, so easy question, easy answer.
Okay, good, good.
So
Easy.
for me, absolutely the second time. Okay, so like you said, the first one is a give me. Somebody can be like way excited, way hyped up, like, oh, I finally here, and things can go quickly or not at all, whatever. I've dealt with a few people in my life that had issues in that area.
Mhm.
Uh, if we were in a relationship, I would absolutely tell them the second time. If we were not in a relationship, I'll be more inclined not to even deal with them anymore. And that's just the truth.
Right. Okay. Okay. All right.
So the second time I'm not pleased, I absolutely would communicate it in the best way I know how, depending on how hype I was about it.
Right. Okay. Okay.
I
Okay.
have told a man stopped dealing with me before because he wasn't able to uh, make it happen for me.
Okay. 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 He wasn't able to
It was
make it
just I
happen.
see his ego, and I
Right.
said, "I see you problem there, and I can't. I know ain't
Right.
nothing wrong with me, so
Right. Okay. All right. So after the second time, you're gonna let him know, hey, first time is a give me because he's excited. Boom, there it goes, and then he like, God damn, yeah, it's over with. Wait a
and I
minute.
don't mind telling him what exactly he needs to do to make it
Okay.
happen. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I
And
don't,
that's
I don't have that issue.
right. Okay. I didn't think you did. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
verbal. I might be a little too verbal, like really. I just be working on
Communication.
tact. I work on using tact because sometimes you can say things and you bruise that male ego. It's like
Yeah.
it's the end of the world. They probably don't even want to sleep with you, like that one guy. They don't want to sleep with you no more. They don't want to work on it. But
Yeah.
that's the thing of what I want in a relationship, for you to want to work on it, for you to
Right.
want to
Yeah.
actually get through this
Right.
issue that we having. So
Yeah. No doubt.
there's
No
gonna be
doubt.
a point where that thing might stop working. Like,
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
want me to dip out, so let's work
Yeah.
through it. Why
Yeah.
not?
All right. That's what's up now. All right. I'm gonna leave that alone, but that stop working. So I will go there. One of my friends has my number is sending me messages about you right now, but I'm not gonna read
What do
them.
you say? Oh my God, who's sending messages?
One
Put it
of,
on
one of
the
my
show
friends,
so I can see it.
yeah, put it in the chat.
Comments. Let's
Don't
talk
don't
about it.
put it in the comments. Don't send it to me in a private
Okay,
message.
don't be private.
Yeah, send it.
This is a public forum. This is a
Yeah, this is open. So let me ask you this while Jim is getting ready to post that comment. Hey guys, this is up close and personal with KREE 2-1 boom. So as you watching it right now, hey, or maybe you thinking about it and you'll see it later. Put it in the chat and put it up there, and she will see it, and I'm pretty sure she will answer it. So let me ask you this here. So during one of the podcasts, you mentioned, and this may have changed, but you said, why send friend requests to people you barely talk to? So you wrote that one time. It's been a while. Like, why am I sending friend requests to people I barely talk to? Because you explain that a little bit, or do you remember that?
I don't really
Okay.
remember it, but I can form an opinion about it.
Okay.
It's like, so if you send in a friend request to somebody, the assumption is you want to connect with that person, right? But again, you don't know someone's intention. So if their intention is to just build up their friend list, I mean, that would be a reason why they send in random friend requests to people.
Right.
Because there are people who send me friend requests, never speak to me a day at all, like never speak. So like I really don't know like the intention. So if it's just to gain more followers or friends or whatever, then that's the reason. I'm not one to send friend requests if I don't plan on trying to connect with you in some form or
Right.
fashion. So
And when you say connect, we just talking about what? Just
So, for example, you sent me a couple of people who can be on my show.
right.
I don't know them, but I'll send them friend requests so that I can connect with them to be on the show.
Right. Okay. That's what's up.
Or like you link me with the young lady who likes to hike. I'll
Yeah.
send her a friend request so now we can communicate and cut out the middleman and work
Yeah.
that way. So
Yeah.
if I'm
Yeah.
not trying to connect with you in some kind of
Yeah.
business or something like that,
Right. And
or
if
I
we,
might see you around
yeah.
and we speaking with cordial, and then you're a friend suggestion. I
Right.
liked your energy. Now I want to connect. Hey, we're going to hang out. You want to come hang out?
Right.
There's something tied to why I'm sending a friend request. It's not just so I can build up my friend list. Like that's not. It's not
Okay,
this.
that's what's up. All right, 5 more questions and we up out of here because I don't know what time
Do
your
it
time is.
5 more after the last one. Before the last. Never mind. Go ahead. You
I,
good?
I,
I'm just talking.
I
You good?
lied.
I love it. I love it. You know I
So
can talk all day.
I already believe me, I know that. So you mentioned in one of our podcasts when you on Wizard Talk one time, you said getting degrees is a white man thing. So I don't know if you recall that, but could you just kind of tell me what you mean by that?
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I said that, almost certain it was centered around the way they designed education, right? So they teach us what they want us to know, and a part of teaching us what they want us to know, they instill in us going to college.
Hmm.
Now, what that does is stay in your pockets. Like you have to pay. It's not free to go to college. So if they teach you as young as a child, hey, get older and go to college, and you don't have some sort of grant or what is it that you get when you're in school, scholarship,
Yeah.
and even sometimes with the scholarship, you still got to pay. So
Right.
now you're getting ready to invest in the college system, which costs crap loads of money,
Yeah.
and you have to take these loans out, and now you're in debt. So it's like Americans are set up. The system, the education system, is set up already to put you in debt. So, say for example, you go into a career field that doesn't make a lot of money, and a lot of women go into the mental health field, nursing, and all that. Granted, nurses make a lot of money, but they also got to put out a lot of money for the education.
Yeah.
So the government intel is getting a cut regardless,
Yeah.
like you have to pay. So it's like set up to put you in debt already. I really don't like that idea. And then I'm sure I spoke from my own personal experience. After I graduated college, every job still wanted me to have experience, and
That's
it's
what you said. Yep.
how the hell I'm gonna have experience when I just graduated? You have to hire me first for me to get some experience.
Yeah.
Like, duh. And I was doing like a internship, not getting paid nothing, but I'm giving you my time. And then it just so happened one day I was there, a lady was like, it doesn't mean they're gonna guarantee to hire you. I
Yeah.
said, so you telling me I'm up here getting all this knowledge and they're not even gonna hire me? That was my last day of internship. It's like
Yeah.
so knowledge is important, but at the end of the day, like you can go learn a skill or a trade and make way more money
Right.
than going to college for 4 years, and they still want you to have experience.
Right. Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
it's you with college and no experience, this person has 10-year experience, they're gonna hire this person. They want somebody who knows what they're gonna do already. So
Exactly.
it's
Okay.
just sad. And then now you got all these loans, you're in debt. And I
All right.
think
That's
it was
what's up.
orchestrated that way.
That's what's up. All right, all right, y'all. Keep the comments coming with Cree 21 Boom. If you have anything you want to put in the chat, put it in the chat, and I will put it on the screen for her to answer because this is up close and personal. So let me ask you this. So I watched a little bit of one of your podcasts, well, several, but this particular one in particular here, where you interviewed yourself. And so I want to know what inspired you to interview yourself.
So sometimes I get the urge to go live, right? And I seek out guests, and it's hard sometimes getting people to come on,
Yes.
and it's hard getting them to like be authentic, right? And I kind of pride myself on being authentic and honest and transparent and just free to be me. So I would like to encourage somebody to operate in the same manner because that's when you're going to know whether or not you have genuine connections with people by showing your whole self, like your true self. Like, sure, they like you when you're always nice. Sure, they like you when you're sober. But do they like you when you're not nice? Do they
Yeah.
like you when you're drinking? Like,
Yeah.
so I kind of like to show all of me to people that's around me. So I had a guest that day. They canceled and I got my best friend to come on a little later, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna interview my goddamn self. I'm single, right? It's my new singles segment that I'm adding. Um, and so I did it. Like I just asked myself the questions. It was very awkward, but
Yeah.
I got
It was.
through it and it was funny.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah, it was cool. One little bit I got to watch, I really enjoyed it. I said, damn, she answered herself questions and
And
then she
answer them.
answered them.
Am I crazy? Because they say you can't, as long as you don't answer yourself. You're not
Well, shit, I don't know if you.
I asked and I answered.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And yeah, you damn sure did. And I have to tell you also too. This just on just something else. I mean, I enjoy your roundtable discussions. You know, I only get to watch them for a little while because I'm always doing something. But when you get to having the roundtable discussions, you know, y'all was sitting around, everybody was kind of sipping on a little bit of something, and you know that was pretty cool. You know, and original. You know, just some original out shit. So that was cool the way y'all do that and have that. So. That's
Thank you.
cool.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. So let me ask you this to come talk about a podcast. How's the support from like family and friends of your podcast? You know, before you answer, I know that we have supported other people with functions that we go to, this and that we go to. Now we don't support them uh, I mean, if we paying that money, 20, 25, $30 or whatever, or something like that, you know. Now we don't support them, and we're not saying because I support you, why you, but I mean, like, come on, you know, where's the support for me? So I'm just asking you, how's the support from your family and friends for your podcast?
Friend. I was so happy until you just asked that question.
Up close and personal, you never know what I will ask.
I'd like to say overall there's a lack thereof support
Yeah,
from my friends and family. Doesn't mean I take for granted the ones that did like share, like interact with me on my podcast. I really do appreciate all you guys. But I know a lot of people, right? I also support a lot of people.
yeah,
And when I say support, I mean my money, the one
yeah,
thing that I work hard for. You know what I'm saying? And when I ask for something that don't cost you anything, but a few minutes, a second, or whatever, it's like heartbreaking, right? It hurts.
yeah.
I'm just gonna say that it hurts. It hurts to the point where I put a post on Facebook and say, "Hey, stop asking me to support your stuff
I
if
saw
you
that.
can't even support mine." Like I put that post up a couple of times before, but does that stop people from asking for support? Absolutely not. I just went to a event and a couple of ladies that I knew and one that I didn't know. But because it was Black women entrepreneurs, I supported their business
Yeah,
and without a problem because that's just who I am. Like
yeah,
it really, at some point, it doesn't really matter whether they support me or not because I'm still going to be me. But later on, though, I think I'm gonna stop supporting so much. I'm gonna pick and choose.
yeah,
Make better choices to support who supports me because at the end of the day, we all are trying to do something great out here. Like
yeah,
nobody is better than the other person. We all trying to do something great, but it's just heartbreaking when they know that I'm out here paying to support them, and all I'm asking for is a like, a share, a comment, a thumbs up. Woo, don't
yeah,
cost you nothing.
yeah.
A penny,
Nothing.
nothing,
Absolutely free.
nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
So yeah, that one is a difficult, touchy subject.
Yeah.
I be wanting to go live all the time. My family is a bunch of characters. Like I be wanting to go live, but they no, they don't want it. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is what it is.
And I can relate to the challenge of trying to get people on the show, you know, to come on and talk. And I've had people want to know the questions beforehand, and I don't do that. You know, I want your answer to be original, authentic. You know, you don't know. You know, it's uncut, unedited, unscripted, unrehearsed, all that unshit. You know, so and I know about the support that you're getting like that because I myself, you know, spends out a lot of money, you know, supporting people doing these things and here and there. And we just simply ask for a like, share, and a subscribe, you know, and we can't even get that. You know, it's so easy to share, to hit the share button, you know. But anyway, but I want to get how you feel on that. So I really have now
Can I
that,
say something?
yeah,
I like to say thank you for your support. I like to say thank you for your encouragement to help me for helping me get my show on the ground. He would text me and be like, "Go for today, go live." So you did give me a little push. I really do appreciate you. You are awesome. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, friend.
Already appreciate it. Yeah, I'm here to share whatever I can, whatever Cause like Seven said, and it's been on. Information is free, so I'm willing to share with anyone or anybody that whatever I know and the mistakes that I went through or whatever to help them, so they don't have to go through that. Because I spent over $15,000 for my podcast. I'm in the studio that I built in my backyard because my house is small. But had I known about this program, I probably wouldn't build this studio, but maybe so. But I had to buy a laptop. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So, but you are more than welcome. So here's my next to the last question. On Wizard Talk, you mentioned that you don't like sex toys because you have to have something that gets soft. So here's my thing. Your male partner that you've been dating for a while brings sex toys in the bedroom to add something into the relationship, to add a little spice into it. You don't like sex toys. So I'm asking you, what are your thoughts? He's trying to spice it up, trying to get a little something going. So what are your thoughts on sex toys when he bring them in here like this to you? I'm sure y'all probably maybe had that conversation beforehand, maybe, but let's say y'all didn't, and he just brings them in, boom, KREE 2-1, boom. What are
Okay,
your thoughts?
so um, that came from this experience. I tried it. I didn't like it.
Okay.
It was very uncomfortable, and something about when that man has his orgasm that turns me on even further. You
Right,
can't get that from a toy.
right,
There's not the feeling that you get when it's a real thing. Like
right.
so, uh, it's kind of hard to separate. Like because there's one with a feeling, there's one without.
Okay.
And using it personally, I don't like it. So
Okay.
I've never used it with the male, so I'm not sure what that would be like.
Mm-hmm.
And since I'm an open-minded individual, I'm open to whatever. Like I'll try almost anything at least
Right,
once. So
right,
I'm an open-minded individual. So if he wants to, that's fine. Let's do
right,
it. Why not?
right. Okay.
But for my own self, I'm not using no toy. I'm not. If
Right.
I
Okay.
can't get it soft, I don't want it.
And I would say,
If ain't nothing coming out that mug, I don't want it.
it's something about that warmth that comes through that different more. So,
Because
and
women can feel it. Women can
yeah,
feel.
yeah.
I need to feel. You can't feel that when it's fake.
Right. Well, and toys can be kind of like a little foreplay thing. I've said on the other
Yeah.
podcast before, because his jaws may be tired of eating pussy all the time, so he want to do a little something. And it don't have to be one that insert; it can be one on the outside. But my thing is, a friend of mine once told me that. Well, I think I told her I can't even fucking remember that. She used toys because she, not active and don't want no man. But and I believe I told her, it's something about though. You can do that and maybe get you a little pleasure, but when you have that warmth and that strength and that man got you in that huckabuck and then he gonna release that warmth, it ain't it's something just totally different. But
That's that male body.
yeah,
Period. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
it's
yeah. All right,
amazing.
well, cool.
I
All
love
right,
it.
well, cool. Well, boom. Where do you see your podcast in the next year as far as growth? That's what Miss Perry put up there. Whatever. If you want to answer that before I close out my last deal.
I
Uh,
absolutely see my podcast tripling in numbers, tripling in subscribers. I see me being great. I don't see anything other than greatness for me.
right.
Thank you for the question, darling.
Already, that's what's up. And before I wrap up this podcast, because I'm on one at 8 o'clock on the
Great.
PM lifestyle.
I know that's going to be a good one too, y'all. So y'all tune in for that one.
So let me ask you before I wrap up this up close and personal with KREE. We've covered a great deal of some of everything: personal questions, relationships, sexual, family, kids. Who do you trust? And we've covered everything. And this podcast was long overdue because I've been trying to interview you for a while, but you started your podcast, KREE 2-1 Boom, and then I was busy doing this and that, but we made it happen. So is there anything that maybe I haven't even asked that you'd like to share with the world before we end this podcast?
Okay, sure, absolutely. What kind of question is that? I'm a sharer. I like to say this to people. Despite what you may think about yourself,
you laughing for?
Somebody. I am just overjoyed. Like, I'm
Okay.
just happy. Just let me be happy, okay?
Okay.
Despite what you may think about yourself, and if you're having self-esteem issues, you need to work on that before you try to connect with another individual. But if you practice being who you are to your core, somebody out there will accept you and all your trash. You do not have to put up a representative. You're still human. We know you're going to be flawed in some form or fashion. It's better to just put it out there in the beginning
Mhm.
than to wait 3, 4, 5 months and wait till you got her under some spell or attachment formed or a soul tie, and then now the real you comes out. I
Yeah.
think it's better to just be you in the beginning, whatever the hell that is.
Yeah.
And that's all, folks.
All right. Cool. And now, how can people find your podcast?
KREE 21 Boom on YouTube and Lucretia Jackson on Facebook. That is me.
Okay, and so y'all make sure y'all tune in. I don't think I put it off in the chat. I think I was going to, but I don't think I did. So y'all make sure y'all tune in and check out KREE 21 Boom, because she gets to talking about some relationships and she has a cast on there. I'm telling you that it's off the chain, and I, for some reason, I am not going to forget Janice. I think her name talking about how she like it missionary and like to feel on
She
somebody
like to lay
arm.
on her back. That's what I
Yeah,
heard.
yeah, be on her back and everything like that. And some men might call that a lazy fuck, but I ain't gonna talk about Janice
Pillow
because
princess.
she's cool. She's cool with me to come on and talk about all of that openly. And that's the thing that we do here on Wizzo Talk. And I've noticed that on your podcast also, and on the PM Lifestyle. We people just because they don't know, so you just come out and you just answer openly and honestly, and and you just give your best. So I appreciate you coming on right now and not knowing what the hell I'm gonna ask, because you know me, I can get into some shit, and you took everything like a champ. What did she say?
Call
Pretty.
it pretty face sex. So she called laying on her back missionary is pretty face. So if your face is pretty enough, then they don't have a problem. I don't think I've never really thought about that. So I don't know where it's coming from, but that's her thing. You got
Yeah.
to have her on and let her talk about
Oh,
that.
that's right. That's her right there. Yeah, I wanted to comment when y'all was on there the other day, but I had something come up or whatever, because I remember her talking about pretty face sex, and so. But anyway, I'm
You
not
a
gonna go
male
there.
though. You a male. So does it matter like what her face looks like, whether or not you do missionary? I don't think it matters to me. You just
I
tell her,
was I would say this from some men, because I can't speak for all, of course.
right?
Some men they don't even turn down their fucking collar. If that motherfucker is pink, they gonna stick it and they gonna hit it, whether from the top, the back, the side, or whatever. They don't care. They can fuck without emotions.
Right.
Some, you know, pretty face sex, yeah, sometimes you may, yeah, let me see them eyes. But no, sometimes I want to flip you on over and I want to hit it from the back. Sometimes it's about angles. Sometimes I might want you to ride it. I don't always want you to just be on your back, but to each his own. Everybody like what they like, whatever. And I think Janice, she made it perfectly clear. She like, that pretty face sex, so she can hold on their arms and rub on their arms and stuff like that. And Janice, I'm not mad at you if that's what you like, to rub his arms and look at his fuck faces, so that's fine. But I think that at some point, sometime, that a man, he want to flip it over, and he want to run in there like that. But I'm just saying. So, but
Ah,
anyway, what did James say before we get ready to get up out of here?
ah.
As long as the breath don't stink. You off the chain. Hey, well, long as the breath don't stink, and you know what? And I know we're over because I got to get ready for PM Lifestyle Podcast. Miss Janet, if you were watching, I heard you say that you don't like to kiss, but I'm not sure if you don't like to kiss, or does that not mean that you don't suck any dick? So I'm not sure about that, but that's for another podcast, because I have to get ready to end this Wait a minute. She said, I'm going to give him a, like, shit. Okay. Well, anyway,
Question.
I got to get ready to get up out of here. KREE, I appreciate you wholeheartedly. So I get ready for the PM lifestyle
Thank
at
you,
3 o'clock.
friend.
Hey, and we will see you again. You know, most definitely. I won't be there tomorrow because we're going to see this little comedy show deal and stuff like that. But hey, I appreciate you wholeheartedly and thank you for coming on Wisdom
Yeah.
Talk. Y'all
Thank
look
you
up
guys for
KREE.
watching.
Holler at